how I released 40 pounds, healed my scoliosis, my asthma. I freed myself from 3 different addictions that I had my entire life. I stepped out of isolation, stepped out of self-hate, unworthiness, and I stepped into this version of myself that I had no idea even existed. And I started doing my purpose work. I was sharing my story on social media. People started reaching out to me asking for help. I started doing my purpose work. People hired me. My first year in business, I did over 6 figures my first year in business with 0 following. I married the love of my life. I attracted the love of my life. She found me, so it wasn't like I was on all these dating apps and going from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship, which I did my entire life. She came to me. I attracted her, and I was able to get married for the first time in my entire life, which is such a blessing and so amazing to be able to do this with somebody that I'm very attracted to inside, mentally, emotionally, physically. And there's so much passion in our relationship and such a deep love, such a deep connection, and it's growing every day. And it challenges me as a human. So I'm so excited to share this with you and to bring this to you and to let you know that anybody can do this. You can do this. The things that you hear about manifesting, if maybe you follow Dr. Joe Dispenza, maybe you follow or followed Bob Proctor, Neville Goddard, Jose Silva, all these great mentors when it comes to manifesting using meditation, changing the way we think, feel, and act to attract a reality that already exists in the universe, in the multiverse. That version of you that has the health, that has the wealth, that has the passionate lover, that has the purpose work, the thriving purpose work, where you're working with your dream clients, you're selling your art, maybe you're a designer, maybe you're an actor, actress, doesn't matter. That version of you already exists now in this moment. And our only job is to match the frequency of that reality that already exists in the multiverse. This is what all these teachers, these gurus are teaching. They're teaching how to match a frequency. When we match the frequency, we become that version of us who's thinking, feeling, and acting in alignment with that version of us who already has the dream. So we're going to break this down today and go into, we'll talk about the science. We'll go into different parts of using meditation to manifest reality. We'll talk about the energy patterns that need to be embodied. We'll also do some questions because you're on this live with me. So I thought it would be something special. We can do some questions as well. So let's dive right in, and I'm going to live stream this into our Facebook group. So the Facebook group, it's called Manifesting Miracles, Law of Attraction, or Law of Attraction Quantum Field Student. If you're not in our Facebook group already, after this live, go on Facebook and join the group. We have a amazing community there. We have over 4,000 community members, and it's all people just like me, just like you, that believe in this work, that are in the work, that are studying the work, embodying the work. And we have people in there. I have over 100 people in that group that I have personally helped heal, start their thriving work, their purpose work, attract love. People in that group have already done it. So you definitely want to be a part of that group. So it's Manifesting Miracles, Law of Attraction student. And I'm just live streaming us now with that. While I'm connecting us to that Facebook group and live streaming, put in the comments, what do you want to get out of this masterclass? So type in the comments, what do you want to get out of this masterclass? What are you manifesting in this moment? And let us know where you're from. What part of the world are you in? And I'll read the comments. All right, so we have Vanessa. She says she's in the UK. I'm not sure what I'm manifesting, but it's certainly not what I want. Sandy says, from Florida. All right, from Florida. How to release fear and step into my higher self. Thank you for sharing. Sherry says, hi, thank you for offering this. I am in Massachusetts. I've been on this journey for a few years. I'm so close to where I'm ready to go. A healthy, magical relationship, thriving, purposeful career, and healing my body and mind from narcissist relationship. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing. Ish says, I am manifesting love, wisdom, power, strength, joy. I am here to learn systematic daily practice that I can do every day this year and manifest my dreams, goals, permanently transform internally and emotionally and level up. Thank you, Ish, for sharing. All right, let's dive right in. So if you have a question, save it for the end because I'm going to leave some space here for the end. If you want to type it in the chat, you can do that as well. If I don't get to it during the masterclass, we'll get to it at the end. So let's start. We're going to start with why use meditation to manifest? Why not just work harder, hustle harder? Maybe you go back to school, get another degree, maybe you get another certificate. Why not do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more? Why go inward, stop doing, sit down, get silent, get still, go inward and make a change internally to see a change externally? Why do that when society teaches the exact opposite? And from a very young age, we are brought up and raised to believe that if we want more, if we desire more, if we desire a better career, more money, more health, travel, work that we love, we're brought up to believe that we have to put in more hours, hustle, get more degrees, more certificates, more experience, more this, more that, more this, more. And that is infinite. It is infinite. Where is this coming from? It's coming from the analytical mind. It's coming from the ego, the false self. So we there's a few different aspects to you. We all have something called an ego, a voice in our head, a personality. And I love what Dr. Joe Dispenza says. He says, your personality creates your personal reality. So your personality creates your personal reality. So we all have this personality. We all have an ego, an analytical mind. We all have this voice in the head, this mind chatter. And we're brought up in a society that teaches us from a very young age to think things through, plan things out, write it all down, have a plan, think it through, make sure you have a plan B, make sure you have a plan C, don't trust anybody, make sure you save all your money because you don't know when the next big crisis is right around the corner. Don't do that scary thing. What if you fail? Don't do that. People are going to reject you. This is all the ego, the false self, the mind chatter, the mind stream. Now, there's nothing wrong with listening to the analytical mind. It's not good, bad, right, wrong. It's going to give you a different experience in life when you listen to the ego, the false self, the protective personality. I've heard it called the protective personality. And the experience it's going to give you is going to be one of anxiety. It's going to be one of overwhelm, stress, confusion, feeling blocked, not feeling sure, unsure, questioning yourself. Am I making the right move? Am I doing the right thing? Maybe I do need to go back to school. Oh my God, I need to, oh, there's so many things. I can't, that's the experience that you will have when you're living in the mind chatter, in the ego, the false self. Now, that's not a good experience or a bad experience. It's just another experience. And the question I want to ask you is that experience serving you? Type it in the chat. Is that experience serving you?
Wrong way, yeah.
Vanessa says, is it hell? San says no. Elizabeth says no. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. There is no good or bad experience. There is no right or wrong experience. The question is this experience serving me? And if the experience of anxiety, overwhelm, confusion, not sure, blocked, burnt out, tired, exhausted, because that's what's going to happen if the ego is in charge, if the analytical mind is in charge, then we've got to look at it. We have to observe it. And we've got to ask ourselves, what does my heart desire? What fulfills my heart? My heart, me personally, desires flow, desires ease, desires fun, desires adventure, desires spontaneity, desires orgasmic moments, alive. That's what my heart desires. Now, your heart is a brain. Your heart is a brain. It has neurites, which are like neurons. Your heart remembers things. Your heart makes choices. Your heart speaks to you every day, all day long, consistently, all the time. Your heart has over 60,000 connections to the brain than brain to heart. There's more connections to the heart to the brain than there is brain to heart. Your heart is 100,000 times stronger electrically, 5,000 times stronger magnetically. Your heart is the brain that is supposed to be leading you in life. It was never supposed to be the analytical mind. It was never supposed to be the ego. It was never supposed to be the false self. It was never supposed to be any of that. It was always supposed to be the heart. So this whole process is about unlearning, deprogramming, living a completely different way, living in a completely different dimension. That's what this whole process is about. It's a lifestyle change. It's about making a lifestyle change of no longer living in the analytical mind, doing, hustling, working, plan A, plan B, plan C. That it's about leaving all of that behind, dropping that all, entering the dimension of the heart, which is an alpha brainwave. So thinking, doing, hustling, plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that's a high beta brainwave. Your average person is in a high beta brainwave. And the body, there's a lot of adrenaline that's pumped out in these high beta brainwaves, a lot of adrenaline, cortisol. These hormones and chemicals are very addictive to the body. The body becomes addicted to anxiety, to fear, to overwhelm, to unclear, not sure. When's it going to show up? When is it going to happen? The body becomes addicted to this way of being, and the person loses their free will to a set of subconscious automatic programs. So they are subconsciously feeling guilt. They are subconsciously feeling anxiety, fear, shame, overwhelm. And if you want proof of this, you can just look on the media. The news, the media has this dialed in. When you turn on the news, you turn on the media, what are you going to hear? Fear, shame, guilt, fear, shame, guilt. Why is that? That's what sells. That's what makes the money. That's what sells. That's what keeps people coming back for more. Just like a crack addict, just like a heroin addict, It's no different. It's chemicals and hormones that are released in the body, and the body becomes addicted to these chemicals and hormones. So the person has to subconsciously, this is all subconscious, the person's got to turn on that news. They've got to see what's going on in the world. They've got to, what's going to happen? What's going to go? When's the next crisis? When is it coming? That's all very addictive. So this work is about dropping all of that, leaving all of that behind, dropping it all, turning your attention to your heart's desires, because your heart doesn't desire to watch the news, to watch the media. That's not what your heart is desiring. That's the ego. That's the analytical mind. That's the past self. Your heart is desiring love, adventure, purpose, passion, gratitude, joy, bliss, ecstasy. That's what your heart is desiring. So in terms of brain waves, and I have some notes here, so I'm just going to look at my notes, make sure I'm hitting all the topics. In terms of brain waves here, we have to go from a beta brainwave to an alpha brainwave. In alpha, you can hear your heart. You can hear what are called downloads, transmissions, deep knowings from within. You can hear it in alpha. You cannot hear it in a high beta brainwave. There's great books on this, on the alpha brainwave. There's a really good one. It's called Flow. It's all about the alpha brainwave. So whenever artists, great musicians, great athletes, greatness is alpha. That is greatness. These artists, musicians, athletes, architects, they are in an alpha brainwave when they are creating these works of art. They are in an alpha brainwave. So it's about staying in an alpha brainwave throughout your waking day and allowing your heart brain to lead you. And the analytical mind, the ego, is the servant to the heart. Now we're sitting down and we're doing the meditations to practice making our life the meditation. That's why you're sitting down and doing the meditation. So you're sitting down and doing the meditation to practice making your life the moving, walking, talking, breathing meditation. Yes, you're creating in the quantum field. Yes, you're in 5D and you're changing the pattern in the field so that when you come back, you've changed the hologram. Yes, all these things are happening. If you can't hold it, you've got to be able to hold it for more than 50% of your waking day to see change, to see it show up. So if you've got to stay in alpha over 50% of your waking day, that means that your life is the walking, talking, breathing, moving meditation. Neville Goddard. Moving, talking, feeling from the end as if it's already done. Neville Goddard. So when you're in your meditation, you're going from beta, high beta usually. That's your average person is in like a high beta wave. So we're going lower beta, then we're going alpha. Then we're going theta, which is hypnosis. That's the brainwave of hypnosis. And then we're going gamma, accessing gamma is a whole nother masterclass. I could do a whole masterclass on just gamma. There's also delta brainwave. Delta is below theta. So gamma is actually higher than beta. Gamma is a lot faster than beta, but it's a different awakeness, alertness. It's a super consciousness that you're accessing, super conscious. Delta is under theta. Delta's asleep, falling asleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So you're using this brainwave to fall asleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So you're resetting your autonomic nervous system to a higher set point version of you. We'll get deeper into this as we go along in the masterclass. We'll go a little bit deeper into these different brainwaves. The point here is you want to stay in alpha. Alpha, you're learning to live your life in meditation. Alpha, that's resourcefulness, creativity, a flow state. You can hear your heart, you can hear the knowings, you hear the downloads, you know what to do, you know what to say, you know where to go, and you're experiencing life now in a state of flow, in a state of fun, in a state of joy, in a state of gratitude, in a state of peace. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have challenges. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect or turn into like a robot. It doesn't mean that. It means that your challenges will no longer be problems that push you deeper into anxiety, fear, overwhelm, guilt, shame. Your problems are now challenges that allow you to go deeper into yourself, deeper into trust in yourself, trust into the universe, surrender, let go. And you're moving, walking, talking, taking aligned, inspired action from this place of deep trust, deep surrender. You know it's going to work out. You know everything is for your highest good. You trust yourself. You show up in courage. You no longer hide or run from your problems. So there's no more hiding. There's no more running. There's no more fear, anxiety, stress. Now, that doesn't mean that if a challenge shows up, you're not going to feel fear. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that the fear it's not going to control you. The fear, the anxiety, the overwhelm is no longer going to control you in life. You gain your sovereignty. You gain your sovereignty. What starts to happen here is you start to cultivate confidence. Confidence in yourself, confidence in the universe. What is the universe? What is the universe? Type it in the chat. What is the universe? What is the universe? Type it in the chat. So we've got Sherry says God. It's an ocean, the mirrors, the quantum field from which all things are made manifest. Me, angels, beauty. Yes, exactly. And what is all of this made up of? So what are angels made up of? What is the quantum field made up of? What is the ocean made up of? What is a mirror made up of? Energy. Thank you, Sherry. Energy. Exactly. And what are you? What are you? Energy. So when you're developing trust in the universe, it's actually you developing trust in yourself. So when people say, I don't trust the universe, what they're really saying is, I don't trust myself. The universe never supports me. What they're really saying is, I do not support me. When people say, I always end up with a crappy job, or I always end up in a toxic relationship, what they're really saying is, I'm in a toxic relationship with me. I'm doing a crappy job with me. That's what they're really saying. The universe is you. You are the mirror. You are the angel. You are the ocean. You are the chair that you're sitting on, the laptop that you're watching this on. It's all made up of energy. What are you? Energy. There is no separation. There is zero separation. When you're doing your meditations, you're connecting with this energy. You're connecting with your authentic self, with who you really are. And it's that connection, it's that presence with the self that starts to cultivate the trust, cultivate the confidence, cultivate the surrender. It's safe for me to surrender. It's safe for me to let go. It's safe for me to ease into this flow, relax into life, trust in the universe, trust in myself, trust that I know what to do. I know what to say. I know where to go. You already know what to do. Deep, 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 deep down inside, you know what to do. You know what to say. You know how to heal yourself. You know exactly what you need to do to heal yourself. You know exactly what you need to do to make money with your purpose work. You know exactly what your purpose is in this moment. You know it's deep, deep, deep down inside. It's can you hear it? Can you hear it? That's the question. It's not that the person doesn't know. That's not it. It's can you hear it? Can you hear what it is? And it's not going to come from beta. It's not going to come from the ego, the analytical mind, the past self. It's going to come from your heart brain. Your heart brain is the brain that it's going to come from. And that is the leader in your life. So when you're in meditation, you're slowing the brain waves down. You're going beta, you're going alpha, you're connecting, you're feeling, you're sensing the energy. You're merging with that energy. You're merging with yourself. What are you? Your energy. You're merging with yourself. You're connecting with yourself. You're becoming deeply present with yourself. This builds the confidence. This builds the trust. This builds the safety. This builds the security. Presence heals Presence is presence is what heals. That's the healer. It's presence. It's not more thinking. It's not more planning. It's not more talking, analyzing, judging, telling the story, going down the rabbit hole of woe is me and this is why and because of this, that's why I'm like that, and it never works out. It's about leaving all of that behind. It's about dropping that all. Drop it. This is how we heal our body. Your body will heal. The cortisol flushes from the system. The adrenaline flushes from the system. The immune system raises. Blood pressure goes down. Cholesterol goes down. The body goes into an ultimate healing mode when you're in these altered states of consciousness. The body starts healing itself. There's a natural abundance from within you that starts to arise. There's a natural joy that arises, a natural bliss, a natural peace, a natural gratitude. And what happens is these mind patterns, these stories dissolve. So if I'm feeling abundant, feeling joy, bliss, ecstasy, I'm feeling abundant. When the thought does come, how are you going to pay your bills next month? Or you can't make money with your purpose work, or whatever the thought is, you're not going to attach to it because that's not how you feel. You only attach to the thoughts that you're in resonance with. You only attach to the thoughts that you're in resonance with. So if I feel unworthy, if I feel lack, if I feel not good enough, of course I'm going to attach to the thought that says you're not good enough. You're never going to be able to do your purpose work. No one's going to pay you for that. You need to go to school. You need to get 550 certificates. You need this, you need that, you need more, you need this. Of course the person's going to attach to that because that's how they feel. So you're feeling this overwhelming bliss that wells up inside of you when you're in your meditations. This gratitude. You're feeling this joy. You're going into a gamma brainwave. So gamma is where we have what's called the brain and heart orgasm. So if you've never heard of the brain and heart orgasm, what that is all the energy from the first energy center, instead of it going out sexually, it goes up. It goes up. It's also called a Kundalini awakening, a Kundalini experience. So what that is all the energy from the first center. That's a lot of energy. That's all the energy to make a baby, another human. That's a lot of energy, right? It's a lot of energy. It all comes up through practice. Anybody can do this. Anybody can experience gamma. Anybody can experience these altered states of consciousness. Anybody can do this. It's just a practice. So you're drawing the energy up. So you're using your breath. So it's your end brain and heart coherence. Brain and heart coherence is very simple. It's 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale through the heart. So it's a slow inhale through the heart to the brain, slow exhale, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. You combine that with an elevated emotion, gratitude, compassion, joy. And if you work it, and I've got a system for this, and this is just like going to the gym. This is no different. You're working it, right? You're working that muscle. You're working the Kundalini energy within you, and you're drawing that energy up. So you're letting a little bit more love in, a little bit more ecstasy, a little bit more bliss with each inhale. Each exhale, you're relaxing a little more. So it's an inhale, more love. It's an exhale, surrender deeper. And you work it, and you're drawing that energy from the first center to the heart. Once it hits the heart, it goes to the brain. And the heart and brain synchronize, and there's an enormous amount of energy in the brain, and the person goes into these gamma brain waves. So the Tibetan monks call this the sweeping wave. The Tibetan monks call gamma the sweeping wave. It's a super consciousness. You're connected to everyone, everything, everywhere, all at once. And the body is getting a frequency upgrade. So there's a field around the body. People are really familiar with the aura. Everybody's heard of that, I believe, the aura, the toroidal field around the body. And then there's a reverse field that comes in when you're in these gamma brain waves, and it's a download of energy. So there's an energy that's now coming in, and it's an electrical energy that comes in through your brain, through your nervous system, and the body goes through a frequency upgrade. Extreme bliss, ecstasy. Think about those Kundalini. We've all heard that story of the Kundalini awakening, and the woman is like having an orgasm, but it's not a sexual orgasm. It's a brain and heart orgasm. So it's not sexual. It's not, there's no fluids. It's in your heart and it's in your brain. And the woman or the man, doesn't matter. They're having an experience. They're having a upgrade, a frequency upgrade. You feel so much love, so whole. It's so much you feel like you're going to explode. And you practice this, you do this on a regular basis. Now, you don't have to have like the screaming Kundalini orgasmic experience every time you meditate. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that you sit down, you get yourself a meditation routine, and you make this a real lifestyle change. So you're not just meditating when you sit down, the meditation actually really starts when you stand up. That's actually when the real meditation starts. So the meditation is just a tool to make your life the meditation. So if I can sit down on a regular basis, once a day at least, preferably 2 to 3 times a day, and have these experiences of extreme bliss, extreme gratitude, abundance, joy, when I'm moving throughout my waking day and the thought does come, oh, you're going to stay in this job for the rest of your life. Oh, it's not going to work. Are you sure you want to go live? Your hair is not perfect. Maybe you should wait. You should wait to lose weight. You should wait to get more certificates. You should wait to, when that comes, when the thoughts come, they're no longer attached to. You don't resonate with them. That's not how you feel. You don't feel like that deep, 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 deep down inside. Deep down inside, you feel grateful. You feel abundant. You feel energized, orgasmic, joy, bliss, fun, spontaneous. Of course, you're going to do that live. Of course, you're going to speak on that stage. Of course, you're going to sell your art. Of course, you're going to say yes to that date. Of course, you're going to attract your lover, attract your wealth, attract your purpose work, attract your booming business. That's who you are. That's your energy. That's who you are. And all of a sudden, here comes the thought, oh, post this on Facebook. Go to this art gallery to sell your art. Go to this audition for acting. Go get that degree for holistic health. The downloads are coming from your heart. They feel fun. They feel joyous. They feel spontaneous. They feel adventurous. Now your life is fun, adventurous, flowing, ease, gratitude. And you're creating a life in this energy, this frequency. Of course, you're going to tune in to the timeline of your greatest health, your greatest wealth, your greatest love, your greatest purpose work. That's who you are. You've literally embodied these frequencies. They're in your body. You've experienced the gamma wave. You've experienced the alpha wave. You've gotten into theta. Hypnotizing, reprogramming the subconscious mind in theta. You're sitting and doing these things regularly on a consistent basis. And you've truly become this version of self who already has the dream. So the practice is to sit down every day. Now, if you can only do 10 minutes to start, that's okay. I'm not going to tell you that that's not enough or that's not good. No, that's not what this is about. This is about you doing what you can do in this moment and building off of that. What you can do in this moment is enough. So this is about sitting down every day, going deeper into your practice. I recommend doing breath work before your meditation practice to release emotions, energy from the nervous system. So it's a simple inhale, inhale, exhale. It's called a clearing breath. It's inhale, belly goes out. Inhale, chest expands. Exhale. No pauses, no breaks. Do at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes. If you can do 30, 40, that's best. But if you can't, that's okay. Do what you can. What you can is enough. From there, you'll go into alpha. You'll naturally relax into alpha. So you'll focus on the space around your body, the space around you, the aliveness in your body. Eyeballs 15 degrees up will put you in alpha. From there, you'll go into theta, which is a hypnosis brainwave. You'll feel like you're just existing. So you won't be aware of your body. You won't be aware of, you'll be void of thoughts. If a thought does come, you'll return back to your breath. And then this is when you work your heart and brain coherence, and you work it, and you get into, you practice gamma. So gamma is when we experience the brain and heart orgasm. So it's a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale, brain and heart coherence. So it's a breathing pattern, and you're combining that with an elevated emotion, gratitude, love, bliss, ecstasy. And you're working your heart, and you're allowing more love in, allowing more ecstasy, more bliss with each inhale, exhaling, surrendering deeper, and you're working this muscle, and you can start experiencing these gamma brainwaves. If you want to experience gamma in this moment, think about biting into an apple. When you think about biting into an apple, your brain goes into a little bit of gamma. That's gamma. And there's different levels of gamma. And then what I recommend is what's called falling asleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So at the very end of your meditation, you want to fall asleep to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard. And that resets the autonomic nervous system. So when you wake up, you're a little more loving, you're a little more grateful, you're a little more at peace, a little more in love, confident, trusting, courageous, bold. You're a little more of your authentic self. Now, when you're in gamma, that's when you want to tune in to the timeline of your heart's desire. If you had everything you wanted in this moment, how would you feel? Type it in the comments. So if you had everything that your heart desired in this moment, how would you feel? So Sherry says joy and peace, excited, motivated, inspired, alive. peaceful, happy. Vanessa says, probably bored as there is nothing else to strive for. Peaceful, free, happy. You would feel orgasmic, right? Like, oh my gosh. Yes, it's all here. Yes. That's how you would feel. You'd, yes. Oh, so good. Oh, yes. Alive. Oh, excited. Joyous. I'm in so much joy. Peace. I'm at peace. Yes. That's what you're going for when you're in gamma. You're tuning in. You're experiencing a point in time and space that already exists through your consciousness. You're experiencing it through your consciousness. So when you're in ecstasy, in brain and heart coherence, when you're in brain and heart coherence, in love, you feel in love, that's brain and heart coherence. That creates a very strong and coherent Wi-Fi signal. And you're holding the intention experientially. So you're experiencing your intention. You don't want to get caught up in the images or planning or trying to figure it out. If you get caught up in images or planning or how's that going to, if you get caught up in any of that, it's going to bump you out of gamma and it's going to put you back in beta. So it's important that when you're in gamma, you're actually relaxing more into the feeling when you're in gamma. So yes, you're visualizing, you're in theta, you're visualizing, and you're in brain and heart coherence, you're working that muscle, you're feeling more joy, you're feeling more ecstasy, you're feeling more love, you're feeling more bliss, you're going into gamma. And then there's a point where you start really experiencing love. You have like it's a transcendental moment that you have bliss, ecstasy. You go deeper into the feelings in that moment and you start experiencing that version of self who already has all your heart's desires. And what this does is it changes the pattern in the field. It changes the fabric that makes up our space-time reality, changes the interference pattern in the field so that there's a different hologram, there's a different reality that you come back to. So we actually changed the interference patterns, the patterns in the field, with our intention and our elevated emotion. That's where people get stuck. People know what they want. They're okay. They know how to do an intention. That's not where people get stuck with the emotion. It's got to be an elevated, a gamma, brain and heart orgasm, orgasmic kundalini awakening, however you want to say it. So it's going into these gamma brain waves on a consistent basis. And you're changing the interference pattern in the field that's creating the hologram. So you're bending reality. You're literally bending reality, changing reality. You're creating the synchronicities, serendipities, the miracles, divine timing, divine alignment. And we can say that you're creating it in the fifth dimension, 5D. Because in gamma, you're everything, everywhere, all at once. You're in the 0 point field in gamma. You're in the fifth, you could say the fifth dimension. So when you come back to the third dimension and you come back into your waking state, something is different. You've jumped to another timeline in the multiverse that's more in alignment with your heart. So let's run through it one more time, the practice, the actual practice. So consistency is the key. So you're sitting down every day. If you can do 2 times a day, do that. 3 times a day is even better. Do it for as long as you can. Don't get caught up on time. Don't do that. Don't beat yourself up or judge yourself, or see if you can get consistent, very consistent. So, okay, so I'm going to sit down once a day. I'm going to sit down twice a day or 3 times a day. I'm going to do an hour in the morning. I'm going to do 15 minutes in the middle of the day, 15 minutes at night, or maybe you do 15 minutes 3 times a day. Doesn't matter. Get consistent. And then you're going to practice breath work. So it's a simple breath. It's an inhale, inhale, exhale. So it's and there's all different types of breath work, but that's my favorite, one of my favorites for clearing emotions from the body, clearing energy from the body. You're going to relax into alpha, theta. You'll know you're in theta because you're kind of like just like a zombie in theta. And that's when you visualize. So that's when you visualize your lover, you visualize your wealth, you visualize your healing, you visualize your purpose work. And now you're entering brain and heart coherence. So it's 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds exhale, and you're falling in love. Brain and heart coherence, you feel like you're in love. You're falling in love with your future. You're falling in love with your vision. And it's being mapped neurologically in the brain. So the neurons are connecting. So it's being mapped neurologically in the brain when you visualize. The body is getting dopamine, oxytocin. So the body is receiving all these love hormones, love chemicals. The body is reprogramming itself. And then you're going into gamma. So then you're focusing more on the feeling. So you're inhaling more love, exhaling, surrendering deeper, inhaling more ecstasy, exhaling, surrendering deeper, inhaling more bliss, exhaling, surrendering deeper. And you start to get these gamma brain waves and you work it, and you start experiencing that version of you who already has your heart's desires. And you're changing the pattern in the field. It's called an interference pattern. And it's these interference patterns, the light casts through these interference patterns and they produce an illusion. That's how it's producing the chair, it's producing the computer, it's producing your hand, your body. So it's these interference patterns that light is coming through and it's producing these illusions. So you being in gamma in the 0-point field, you being everyone, everywhere, all at once, you're now in the field. From the field, from 5D, you can change the interference pattern. So when you come back to the 3D, you're literally coming back to a different hologram, a different illusion. You're on a timeline that's in alignment with your heart's desires, not your ego, not what your mom told you you should do, your dad, with the society, the programming, all of that's being dropped. That is meditation unleashed. Making the impossible probable. That's the formula. It's very simple. It's a simple formula. Ish says, will it take some of us a little more time to drop into the heart? Yes, it will. It will. Yes. So the heart can develop what's called a heart wall. The person will have an energetic wall around their heart. This is from trauma, and the environment, a few different things. Trauma, the environment. We could just say the environment. Trauma is the environment. But from the environment, the person can develop what's called a heart wall. So it's a practice, it's a process of opening your heart. And it's going to come through sitting down consistently, doing the practice consistently, going deeper into your practice, working with your heart, opening your heart, implementing things like high vibe foods, grounding, earthing. So bare feet on the earth, sun gazing. I love working with crystals. Crystal healing energy for me is huge in my opinion. I feel like that makes such a big difference. Crystals, working with crystal healing energy. Staying in alpha throughout your waking day. So mindfulness, you could call it a mindfulness practice. You could call it. That's what the Buddhists call it, mindfulness. Sound healing. These things will help unblock the heart. So Elizabeth says, that's my connecting heart. Yeah. So it's exactly. So you have to or you don't have to, but the practice is to remove the heart wall, unblock the heart so that you can get that gamma. Because what does every teacher teach? What do all these teachers have in common? Neville Goddard, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Yogananda, Buddha, Jesus Christ. What do all these teachers have in common? Yes, to listen. We could say to listen to your heart. Love, exactly. Love, exactly. It's the feeling. It's the feeling. It's literally getting the brain and heart orgasm the ecstasy, the bliss, getting into gamma. Gamma brainwave is what bends reality, is what changes the interference pattern. Now, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, there's no have tos or shoulds or shouldn'ts here. You can create change in alpha. You can create change in theta. Different states of consciousness, altered states of consciousness do different things. So there isn't a right or a wrong here. Gamma is the brain wave that bends reality. But you can also bend reality in alpha. You can also bend reality in theta. But it's the feeling, right? So if we look at all the different teachers, all the different gurus out there, they're going to always come back to the feeling. It always comes back to the feeling. How in love, and bliss and ecstasy are you with that intention, that crystal clear intention? Because it's not just enough to have the crystal clear intention. It's got to be combined with the elevated emotion. You have to feel it so much that the hair on your skin stands up. Dr. Joe Dispenza. You have to feel it so much that the hair on your skin stands up. Dr. Joe Dispenza. So if you want to create transformation, these big, and there's not like a right or a wrong here or a better. You're never going to be done. You're never going to get it right. It's really a journey, and it's about falling in love with the journey, falling in love with the process, having fun. The feeling is the secret. So unblocking the heart, removing the heart wall, getting to gamma, experiencing gamma is what's going to literally magnetize it to you, create miracles, things that just make no sense. That's how what I'm sharing with you guys is how I did it, is how I had my massive transformation. It's from what I'm sharing right now. That's the formula. That's it. It's simple. Many times I get to a glorious bliss and that lasts for a short time. I come out of the meditation after feeling bliss. Is that what I should be doing? Or is that when I should visualize? That's a great question. Both. So you should visualize in the bliss, and you should come out of the meditation in bliss and hold the energy throughout your waking day. So more than 50% of your waking day, you should be in bliss. More than 50%. Now, you don't have to be perfect. This isn't about, you don't have to be 100 or even 90 or even 80. You've just got to be more in the energy of your future self than you are not, to see synchronicities, miracles, divine timing, divine alignment, serendipities. And then we had another, how do we drop it all? So that was another question from Ish. How do we drop it all? So we drop it all by no longer identifying with it. That's how we drop it all. That's how we drop the past self way of being, is by no longer identifying, attaching to the past self thinking, the past self feeling, the past self acting. That's how we drop it all. Because if I'm still identifying, attaching, to the past self thinking, feeling, and acting, then I'm just going to keep creating more past self things in this now moment. So I'm taking the past and I'm putting it on the present, and then that turns into the familiar future. So it's sitting down every day, and it's also making your life the meditation, because when you're in an alpha brainwave throughout your waking day, you're hearing your heart, you're receiving downloads, transmissions, you're in peace, you're in safety, security. Alpha is safety and security. So when the past self thought does come, whatever it says, you don't identify with it. You don't attach to it. And if you're not identifying and attaching with these thoughts, then you're not going to act like your past self. You only act like your past self when you identify as the past self. When you are attached to the past self, that's when you act like the past self. Do we teach ourselves feelings? Yeah, that's a great question. Do we teach ourselves feelings like how to get ecstasy bliss? It's not something that you teach yourself. Well, because that's who you naturally are. You naturally are bliss. You naturally are ecstasy. Type in the chat who you were when you were 5. When you were 5 years old, who were you? Type it in the chat. I remember being 5, sitting in the front yard with a bucket and a shovel and having the time of my life with dirt. I remember that. Bucket, shovel, dirt, time of my life. 5 years old. Gratitude, bliss, joy, dirt, bucket, shovel. You're already in bliss. Your natural state is peace. Your natural state is peace. Joy, gratitude. That's your natural state. So it's not teaching, it's surrendering, relaxing, coming back to your authentic self. There's nothing to learn. It's unlearning. That's what it is. It's unlearning. It's deprogramming. Vanessa says, at 5, I was having fun in our garden. Exactly. Fun, gratitude, bliss, joy. Sherry says, innocent, happy to pick flowers and happy. Exactly. You were happy, just picking flowers, happy, fun, bliss, joy. So it's coming back to who you really are before the programming, before the trauma, before fill in the blank. The analytical mind was developed. You didn't have an analytical mind when you were 5. It's when you got the analytical mind, that's when things changed. The ego is what changed things. So it's dissolving the ego. Through doing the work. It's about being connected to these emotions and being these emotions. So I guess this is the work that hopefully meditation will bring to open the heart wall. Yeah, so to open the heart wall, it's a practice. It's just like going to the gym. You got to eat the food, take the vitamins, lift the weights, do the cardio, sleep 8 hours of night, drink your water. This is the exact same thing. Start with the meditation is the foundation. So breath work to release trapped emotions, traumas, unprocessed emotions. Meditation to embody a new frequency, to detach from the past self, rewire your brain, reprogram your subconscious mind body, implementing things like high vibe foods, grounding, earthing, crystal healing energy, sun gazing, sound healing. It's a holistic approach. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle change. This is a real lifestyle change. Yes, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle to learn how to disidentify. Everybody should read that book. Yes, thank you, Alexandra. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Yes, yes, yes. Vanessa says, not much sun to gaze at in the UK. Do your best, Vanessa. It's really cloudy here and rainy. So I just look right through the clouds. Do your best. You want to do 15 minutes sunrise, 15 minutes sunset. So those are the safe times: sunrise, sunset. So as the sun is coming up, 15-minute window there. As the sun is setting, 15 minutes. That's going to decalcify your pineal gland, activate your pineal gland, enlarge your pineal gland, and get blood circulating in the pineal gland. The pineal gland is very important in this work. I might just do a whole nother masterclass on just the pineal gland. Yes. So Alexandra says, not only read it, but live it. Exactly. That's the thing, is this is about living the meditation. That's what this is about. So will it take us a little bit more time to drop into the heart? Probably ish. It probably will, because you're working, you're unblocking, you're releasing, you're removing the heart wall. So let's take a few moments here to connect to the quantum field, to go into alpha. So just go ahead and settle in and just start kind of rocking back and forth. Deep inhales, deep exhales. So we're going 5 seconds in through the heart, 5 seconds out. So we're going right into brain and heart coherence. Rocking back and forth, this little bit of a sway back and forth helps process emotions. So just start kind of swaying back and forth. Deep inhales through the heart to the brain, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Processing emotions, releasing emotions, coming into the body. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Imagine there's a nose on your heart, and you're inhaling through that nose on your heart, and you're going right up into your brain. So it's called a circular breath. So you're inhaling through your heart to your brain, exhaling, and then you're going right back into your heart to your brain. No pauses, no pauses. And just sense your breath, feel your breath. And I want you to think of one thing that you're deeply grateful for. Could be a loved one, could be a pet. Could be a memory. For me, I love to use the memory of my little nieces and nephews seeing me when they haven't seen me in a long time, and they're like running up to me. They're so excited. They're so happy to see me, and they like grab my legs and Auntie Andrea. So what is a memory, an experience? What is something you're deeply grateful for? 5 seconds in through the heart, 5 seconds out. Bring up that memory. Type in the chat. You should feel warmth, tingling, aliveness. Type in the chat whatever you're sensing. Maybe you're sensing a tingling, an aliveness, a warmth. Type that in the chat. Vanessa says boiling hot. Sandy says joy. Whatever you're experiencing, sense it and feel it more as you inhale through your heart to your brain. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Feeling gratitude, bliss, joy. And I want you to inhale gratitude, bliss, joy, love. I want you to actually physically inhale the frequency of love, gratitude, joy. So inhale it through your heart to your brain. Alexandra says lots of yawning. Yeah, that's a sign of releasing, Alexandra. So yawning, heat is also a sign of releasing, Vanessa. So don't get into don't think about anything. Don't go into an analyzing. Observe that, go right back into your breath. So inhaling through your heart to your brain, 5 seconds on the inhale, 5 seconds on the exhale, feeling more of whatever you're feeling without judgment. No judgment. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. Sit up nice and tall. Pretend like there's an imaginary string at the top of your head and pull your spine to the ceiling and breathe in a little slower, a little deeper through your heart to your brain. Love, ecstasy, gratitude, bliss, heart to brain. Bring your eyeballs up 15 degrees. As you inhale through your heart to your brain, inhaling love, bliss, gratitude. Just type in the chat what you're sensing, what you're feeling. So I'm feeling a lot of warmth in my heart, deep connection. That's what I'm feeling, sensing warmth, lots of love. Just type in the chat whatever you're sensing, whatever you're feeling. Peace. Vanessa says absolute bliss and connectedness. Sandy says bursting with love. Sherry says love and peace. This is an alpha brainwave that you're in right now. Maybe even a little bit of theta. You might be in theta. I want you to observe how in this state you feel connected, feel peace, love. You feel like your future self. This is the energy of your future self. So I'm going to challenge you today. I'm going to stretch you today. We're going to play and have some fun here to stay in this energy for more than 50% of your waking day. That's today's challenge. That's today's stretch. Stay in this energy for more than 50% of your waking day. Respond from this energy. Alexandra says deeply grounded. The thing with the eyes feels a little uncomfortable, to be honest. Bring your eyes down a little bit, Alexandra. You might be a little bit too high. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. You might be a little bit too high with the angle. Just bring your eyes down just a little bit. Sherry says to do this in the morning, but then let everyone around me affect me. We'll start 2 to 3 times a day. Awesome, Sherry. Awesome. I love that. So the practice is to stay in the energy. People are going to be people. They're going to say what they're going to say, do what they're going to do. So the practice is to no longer let others change your state of being. Because if I let somebody change my state of being, then I'm the victim to that person's behavior. So it's about no longer letting others dictate how you feel, how you think, and how you act, which is a practice. And it's not about being perfect. I'm not perfect. It's not about that. It's just about getting a little better each day. That's what this is about. So do your best, Sherry. I'm doing my best. I am nowhere near perfect. Do your best. Your best is enough. Alexandra says, thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for being here. I had an absolute amazing time with you guys. I love our connection. I love our group. I love spending time with you. We do have meditation boot camp starting soon. So we have that starting. We're in pre-sale. If you would like to join, it is $777 for the 6-week experience. And we will be breaking this down step by step, mastering every piece to this formula. We'll be going through mini module drops of high vibe foods, crystal healing energy, sound healing, grounding, sun gazing. It's going to be a full, all-encompassing everything you need to know to sit and have profound quality meditations that create change in the field and that allow you to hold the energy of your future self. This is the only program out there that teaches all the things you need to know when it comes to holding the energy, becoming a true match, breaking down the formula, and allowing you to see results by you showing up and doing the work and mastering each step of this process. So I would love to have you. It's $777 for the 6 weeks. You have lifetime access. We have our own private community with lots of support, lots of accountability. I will do hot seat coaching in there to transmute emotions on the spot. We'll have Q&As in there. I will put the page will be in my stories. So the page to join will be in my stories. If you'd like to join us, the pre-sale will last probably a few more days. I'm not sure when I'll take it off, but you guys are invited to join in the pre-sale. After the pre-sale, it will go from 777 to somewhere maybe 999 or 1111, something like that. 1111, something like that. So it's the absolute best time to get in if you want to master each step of this and really make this a way of being, make this a true lifestyle change, really get this down and make it a consistent, regular practice and truly create change in the field to see it show up in your reality. So thank you for being here. I hope to see you inside. If not, I will see you on Instagram. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Love you guys. Bye.